I'm glad your dad knew someone we could call to talk about this.
Dad's good like that. He loves the outdoors.
Growing up in Vilas County, Dad often talked about his friends, John and Jane, who love the outdoors and know their forests. Perfect job requirements for a forester, that's for sure.
Hi, girls.
Good morning.
Hi.
I'm John County, one of the
Anna.
forest administrators.
Hi, Haley.
Hi, I'm John. Good to meet you.
Hi.
We're gonna head right on up this trail and
So we're standing in the middle of this forest, and so how many acres of land are in Vilas County?
Vilas County Forest has 41,000 acres of forest land. We have 40 management units. They're about 1,000 acres each, and each unit is broken down into individual stands, and there's about 1,300 individual stands on the county forest.
What is a stand, and are we standing in one right now?
We are standing on one right now. A stand is basically the primary timber type or cover type on the landscape.
I know this is a big topic, but what is forest management and why is it important?
Forest management is important for lots of reasons. Many reasons that benefit us as a society, and also many reasons that benefit the ecological side of things for wildlife. And growing forests provide us with clean air. They give us clean water. They just keep everything healthy and keep us healthy.
I know I grew up in an urban area and Haley has grown up here, and I know there's a lot of diversity. It seems like there's a lot of diversity here too. Tell me about that.
The goal here was aspen regeneration, and the aspen is coming up really well, but there are also different species like the oak that's here. They can come up together. So even though you are managing the stand primarily for aspen, you're always going to have other species like the oak and the white pine, the maple. There are some white birch components in this stand also, so the forest will be diverse, and often species can come up like oak and aspen can come up together and provide extra benefits for wildlife.
That's cool. That's a lot to know. Where do you start?
Well, we start from the ground up. We have a system here in Wisconsin that was developed by a man named John Kotar. It's called habitat typing. It's one of the tools we can use as professional foresters to determine the quality of the site and what the soil is capable of producing. So the plants that grow on the ground are indicators to us of what the potential for this stand is. And what the species here that we have to work with, combined with what the potential is how we make our decisions on where we want this stand to go and what would be best for it.
So what types of trees are on this stand, and how are you managing it?
So this particular stand is an aspen stand. It has some associated species with it. When we started this project, we harvested what was mainly aspen, about 40, 45 years old, and we clear cut. We left some of the white pine behind. We left, this dead tree. Why do you suppose we'd leave something like that behind?
Maybe for animals?
Very good. Yeah, we call that a snag tree, and we'd leave that behind for cavity nesters, so woodpeckers, squirrels, things like that. And then as that thing decays and falls over, it becomes what we call coarse woody debris, and then it serves another wildlife purpose for like salamanders and things like that would crawl underneath there. And then as it breaks down, it'll recycle its nutrients into the soil.
I know this is an oak leaf, but tell me more about this tree.
The young stands of oak are declining across our state. In order to regenerate oak, you have to do some pretty intensive management for the most part. Sometimes people don't like to see what the intensive management looks like, but the only way that you're going to get results like this is to do some harvesting. Some sites will require perhaps burning. Some sites will require additional scarification with machinery to get the proper seed bed for the acorns to land in and grow. So it takes some intensive management, and as professional foresters, we are concerned with the decline of this species because it's very important to wildlife.
So how do you manage all this land in such a long period of time?
We do look at this as a long-term commitment to the land, and it is a long process, and it starts, the pre-planting, the harvesting, and then once the stand is regenerated, then we kind of take a step back and let the stand grow, but we continually monitor it through its life cycle, which will be about 55 years for an aspen stand.
Forest management is very scientifically based. Everything that we do is based on science that we learn in school. There's silviculture, different tree species, what their needs are, how can we regenerate them, how can we keep our forests growing and vibrant. And that's all very scientific, and that's why we go to college to get our forestry degrees, so we can learn all that stuff.
Wow, I didn't know all of this.
And I think we're just getting started.
There must be more to the story, I'm sure.
Let's go deeper into the outdoors.
The origins of the county forest program go back to about 1927. The state legislature and their foresight developed the forest crop law program in Wisconsin in 1927. And out of that evolved the county forest program. This was an alliance between the county and the state to form a program where the tax delinquent lands could now be enrolled in the county forest program, be managed for the long term for forest purposes, and to provide recreation and a lot of other benefits. The biggest public landowner in the state of Wisconsin is the county forest program.
It used to be just every county forest was on its own, and in 1968 they decided they wanted to band together and have one voice. So the County Forest Association was evolved from that. We've had an executive director that keeps the ball rolling for the county forest. We have over several thousand miles of snowmobile and ATV trails throughout the state. All the acreage we have is all open to the public for hunting, fishing, and recreational activities.